Hello Capricorns, and welcome back to Deku Tarot and to your 2020 to 2021 annual tarot and astrology reading. So we're going to go over the astrology, just the main points for the year ahead, and there's quite a few because we've got a lot of eclipses and a lot of really huge things happening that haven't happened in a very long time. So we've got some big points for the year ahead, and then we're going to also pull one card for your overall theme for the year, and then we're going to pull a card for each month using my Rider-Waite deck, my original deck, as well as my Usi Pagan Otherworlds deck. Okay, and we'll pull clarifiers if I feel the need to throughout the month to month cards, but we'll see how it goes. You guys are going to have quite the year ahead. I think this is going to be a year for the books. And actually, let me start this off with, this is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. Take the messages if they resonate. If they don't resonate, you know, month to month, whatever, they're not for you. These are just very general overall messages. And I will always do a monthly read throughout the year. So depending on when you're watching this, you can always go and check your monthly read as well as the daily reads. And do make sure to subscribe, guys, to share the video if you enjoyed it, and to like it if you enjoyed it, okay? And join me over on Instagram if you want to see more content or just connect. It's fun over there. Let's get into this Capricorn. So I'm going to shuffle up the deck here, and we're going to talk about the astrology for a little bit, and then we're going to get right into the reading. So January 10th, we had that lunar eclipse full moon in your opposite sign of Cancer. And we've been in this, eclipse cycle since I think it's been like July 2018 when it started. So it's been like you and Cancer just kind of going on and off with the eclipses. And it's been bringing a lot of powerful changes to both of your signs, especially in terms of you and relationships. You might look back and see that, you know, you've changed quite a bit since those eclipses have started, or, you know, your view of relationships, your communication in relationships, really a lot of areas involving relationships and yourself here. And probably a lot of other parts of your life have changed since then, especially for you in Cancer. So this is hitting again in the North Node in your 7th house of relationships, love, communication, and balance in relationships, partners. It could also be bringing in new love here. People really are going to want to care and nurture you, and are going to be really interested in you, and you're going to want to be in relationships that care and nurture you back. So it's going to be probably a really good time for, you know, looking into relationships, or maybe even possibly falling in love, leaving a relationship that wasn't nurturing you. Also on January 10th, we have Uranus going direct in Taurus. And if you want to know more about the Uranus and Taurus transit, which for an earth sign, it's going to be pretty big for you, especially, but it is big for everybody and on a global scale. So I did do a video of that a while back. You can check that out on my channel. It's a very interesting transit, and the last time it happened, we entered World War II. And with all these other transits and big conjunctions that are happening this year, I do think it's going to have a really big hand in changing the world all around us. So check that out. On January 12th, we have the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, and this happens every, I think, like 34 to like 38 years or something, and it lasts for around 2.5 years. It happens at 22 degrees of Capricorn, which is that number of the master builder. So that's great. And again, Capricorn is the sign of, you know, working, of building. So it's probably very prosperous in the sense of work, and it will be definitely very prosperous and very good for you in terms of work and, you know, where you want to direct your career. It's happening in your 1st house of self. So again, changes all around you, because Saturn is structure and security, and Pluto is, you know, death, rebirth, this energy, both of them being of karmic energy. And this karmic nature is going to be applying to the whole world here, because it is this completion of this 4-decade-long planetary cycle. It's bringing up all these undertones of judgment. As, you know, again, Saturn, this lord of karma, this structure, skeleton, which things are built around, and Pluto, the enactor of karma, is coming implosively with transformation in terms of, again, both of them having to do with karma. So a lot of karmic stuff happening around this time. And for the next 2.5 years as they conjunct and meet up again. So expect some big changes from that. And for you, again, in terms of, you know, shifting your identity, your daily routine, your looks, who you are, it's going to be a very lucky year in these areas in terms of where you want to change. On April 4th, June 30th, and November 12th, we have this Jupiter conjunct Pluto, and it's going to be some really lucky moments. Again, this is going to be a really lucky year for you guys. A lot of good stuff for you, I think. Positive growth. And if things do fall away, know that it's in your absolute most positive interest here, okay, in your best interest. So again, luck and growth and expansion, which is Jupiter, and transformation, which is Pluto, is coming together in your first house again of who you are. And you're going to be changing really who you are without even possibly even noticing it throughout this whole year. You might look back in 2021 and be like, wow, I have shifted a lot. Because again, Jupiter only comes into your sign every 12 years. I might be getting that confused with Saturn. No, I think I'm thinking of Jupiter. Anyways, so those are really important and lucky years in your life. So, could be getting some really great opportunities as well. May 13th to June 25th, we have the Venus retrograde in Gemini in your sixth house. So again, don't make any really big decisions or commit to relationships. It's really not a good time for love when Venus goes retrograde, because things that you don't like and things that normally would, be like, wow, I would never go for that, or things that you're going to want, and you're not going to want the things that you normally want. By the time it's over, you're going to be like, what was I doing? What was I thinking? What happened? So be careful during those dates. May 5th, actually, the nodes are changing out of your sign and Cancer's sign. So the nodes are entering, the North Node is entering Gemini. The South Node is entering Sagittarius. So the North Node focuses on information that you can accumulate, on that you're bringing in. And so with it in Gemini, you're going to be, again, focusing on how you're, how you're doing, how you're utilizing your self with what you know. And your South Node focuses a lot on what you want to step away from, what you want to release. And with it being in Sagittarius, it's going to be a release of a lot of beliefs, spirituality possibly that you've had, and learning, focusing more again on what you're learning and what you're coming to in terms of conclusions, information now in those areas versus what you used to believe and what you believe now and all of that. So it's going to be an interesting node shift there. You're going to feel probably like, oof, that's been a while. A lot happened just now for the past, however many years. I can't think of it off the top of my head that it's been in your, that the nodes have been in you in Cancer. So June 5th, we have a lunar eclipse in Sagittarius in your 12th house of spirituality. So you're going to feel really easily connected to your more spiritual side. You're going to probably be able to connect in the realms of spirituality a bit more. And again, all eclipses last about 6 months ahead. So that energy doesn't just happen like that. It lasts for 6 months every time I mention an eclipse. And there is 6 of them this year, so a lot. June 21st, we have a solar eclipse, a new moon in Cancer in your 7th house of relationships. With Mercury also in Cancer, it's going to be bringing this really communicative energy to your relationships. People are going to be interested in you, and also they're going to appreciate and like how you communicate. So in terms of relationships, communication is going to be abound. It's going to be good, and you're going to be communicating in a way that a lot of people can get on with. July 5th, we have a lunar eclipse, full moon in Capricorn in your first house. So your energy, it's all about you in your first house again. You're going to feel really strong, really capable. The world is just going to feel like you can achieve anything. You can accomplish whatever you want, whatever you set your mind to. I feel like by July, you're going to feel like, wow, I'm on top of the world. Things that I want just keep happening. I'm able to do this and that. And with, yes, some work, but I'm used to work. I'm Capricorn. So it's going to be a really good year for you. November 30th, we have another eclipse here, another lunar eclipse, full moon in Gemini in your 6th house. So it's going to have you, again, focusing more with communication and in terms of, your work, your spirit, your career, and where that all lies. So, how am I communicating in terms of work? How am I communicating in terms of a career? Am I doing it the way I want to be? Am I putting out work that I want to be putting out? A lot of questions like that. December 14th, we have a solar eclipse in the new moon in Sagittarius in your 12th house. So it's going to be, again, about connecting to your spirituality, your higher realms. And with Mercury in the midheaven there, it's going to be about also, how you can do work that you're more passionate about. What do you love? And also in terms of relationships, there's going to be some focus there in terms of love. So it's really, that's going to be good. December is going to be good for you guys. December 21st, we have the Great Conjunction, which I'm sure you've heard other astrologers and people talk about. Happens every 20 years. The last time it happened was like 9/11 in the US. So it's when Jupiter and Saturn, come together here, and the structure of humanity is really tested. with it being an Aquarius, I do feel that, or I'm hoping at least, that it'll be some humanitarian changes, things that are better for the people, that aren't just so as destructive, or, you know, with the structure of humanity being tested, that it ends up in a more humanitarian place. So we'll talk about that when we get to that. And again, we'll talk more about the stuff as we come to it in the monthlies. So let me move this stuff out of the way here, my astrology notes. And we're going to get into your reading. Okay, let's pull a card for your overall theme for 2020, Capricorn. Okay, one card at a time. They're all coming out face down. Okay, and as I say that, I guess I can't really ignore that that's your card for the year. Ten of Swords. I know this seems like a scary card, and I know that a lot of times it means that you've been through a lot of pain, through a lot of difficulty, and I do think that these themes of endings, of loss, of areas where we have been hurt will be brought up just because we have so much going on in your sign. But it's also a really wonderful and lucky year in that moving past this stuff, moving past the Ten of Swords, the endings, the barriers, all the closed doors, all the pain, the hurt, all of that you're going to be able to get through that with luck and ease. So yes, we're going to be pulling out the swords. We're going to be examining these areas of our life. We're going to be examining areas of ourselves that we don't like. But we also have the ability to change, to shift, and to, you know, really raise our energy, our vibration, raise our lives to a more fulfilling and in alignment place. So yes, Ten of Swords is your card for the year, but we're going to see how that plays, you know, in terms of the month-to-month here, how that really relates, because I feel that yes, it's an intense card, but it's also a sense of cleared energy, of a cycle where things have gone wrong, where we've had endings, where we've had to learn some painful lessons, we've been betrayed, hurt, experienced heartbreak, disappointment, shame, failure, all that bad stuff. We can now clear all of that out and not hold on to it. So there's a really cleared energy to 2020 for you guys that puts you in a much better place, a much more harmonious place. So let's see, January 2020, what is the theme of January 2020 for you, Capricorn? Oof, what do I want to, oh, see, good start. And I have to say, just because this happens all the time, and if you guys have been with me for a while and you're subscribers, you'll know that when I get one 10, I always get a second 10. And there we go, right in January. So your first two cards out here are 10s. And they're such opposite feelings of each other. So if there has been pain, there is now love. There is appreciation for your family, for your found family, for the people that are closest to you in your life. And you want to really nurture and get deeper in those relationships. And I know that we haven't, I want to pull out all the cards before I really get into the reading, but sometimes messages come right through. So let's see, February 2020 for Capricorn. It's a very special year for you. March 2020 for Capricorn. April 2020 for Capricorn. One card. Oh, messy. These cards are a little difficult to shuffle, so that's why I'm struggling, because half the time I'm about to drop the whole deck on the ground because they're a little bit bent. Oh my gosh. Of course, that'd be April. All right. May 2020 for Capricorn. It's the theme of May 2020. For Capricorn. June 2020, not skipping a month. June 2020 for Capricorn. July 2020 for Capricorn. Okay. August 2020 for Capricorn. theme of August 2020. One. Like I said, it's a good year. There's might be that undercurrent of the release of all those swords, and that's not bad because you're getting a lot of cards that I think you're going to be pretty happy about, that are very comfortable. October. That one felt like very intense, and October. All right, November. This is really good. We're going to have to look at that one, aren't we? December 2020. Okay, that was awkward, but of course that card would come out awkwardly. Let's get into this. Okay, so like I said, we start off the year with that 10 of Cups, family, happiness, or again, you're finding happiness with your found family, with whoever you have closest to you, you're very happy with at this time. You're cultivating these relationships, experiencing a lot of love, a lot of happiness, a lot of really intense just feelings of harmony, of, for some of you, romance, the romance of a lifetime, and starting here in January. It's just absolute contentment, absolute bliss, absolute happiness here feels attained. And you know what, for some of you, it's, you know, knowing what you want in this area. But I don't know. Check out your January reading. It is up and it was good. So Capricorn, a lot of really great, yeah, I do remember actually a little bit, because when I do monthlies, they kind of, I channel my reading, so afterwards I'm like, what happened there? But I remember there being a lot of love, a lot of happiness, stepping into a really good year. And yeah, again, whatever if this is your card, whatever if that's the theme of the year, it's endings. Because you have some really great beginnings here. Judgment is February. Judgment, I mean, this is one of my favorite cards in the tarot. I always love a good judgment card. It is my bring out your dead card. Time to bring out what no longer serves you, what hasn't been working for you, what needs to be changed, shifted, what needs to be unfolded in terms of your sense of purpose. Who are you now? Who were you then? And I feel like that has a lot to do, especially in this first half of the year, with looking at who you were, where you have been, and how it has hurt you, but also how it has shaped you and had you grow stronger and helped you find what it is you really love about yourself, what you love about your life, and what you love about what you're able to bring into this world. So I do think that February is going to be quite an awakening moment, and a moment where, you know, you're asked to make some big changes, where you're asked to really step into your power, put in the work, and make it happen. All right, March, we get Queen of Cups. Very Piscean, very March, even though, you know, March goes from Pisces into Aries. It's very in the cups. You could be being very, again, we have got a lot of 12th house energy, I think, for you as well. Or we had a lot of spiritual connective energy there. And I just think that you're going to be really growing in these spiritual ways this year. We're going to be looking at, you know, into the cups, into our feelings, into our spirituality, learning more about, you know, what we believe in and who we are in terms of that. And I just think that our, you know, spiritual self is growing here in March, and that maybe we're also, you know, taking a step back and really just experiencing the love and joy of where we're at, maybe getting into a more creative headspace, more, emotionally aware headspace and heart space. So that's going to be a really nice month for you. I think you got a pretty nice start to the year. And then April, we get 10 of Wands reverse, another 10. Yes. We do get another 10 here. So 10 of Wands reverse, you're dropping the burdens. You're dropping whatever it is that you've been carrying for so long. Maybe you've been sticking in a place or a job or some, you know, doing something that you haven't needed to do for a long time, taking on other people's responsibilities, their work, their problems, as well as your own, or, you know, finding reasons, finding things to accumulate so you don't have to make those big changes, finding reasons not to. And it's kind of like you drop the game here in April. I like that. You know, what's best for me is what's best for me, and I'm not going to be carrying all this other crap with me, and I'm not going to live my life this way anymore. I'm going to live it for me. May, we get Justice. I love the Justice card. It really does bring up this sense of proportion in yourself and in your life here. It brings up, again, balance and truth. The Justice card is always able to see the profound truth. They can look at both sides and really measure what is right in this situation, whether we like it or not. It can bring out some harsh truths, but it also has you in a really clear state of mind of this is what's best for me and this is what needs to be done. This can also be, you know, again, court decisions or you know, Libran energy, but for me it can also be, what is the word I'm looking for here, contracts, possibly new work, you know, signing a new contract, you know, signing something in a very professional dotted line here in some way in your life here. So it could be, you know, having some change in those career areas or work areas, home areas. June, we get strength. This is a card of courage and self-discipline, and not letting fear rule your path forward. Even if we do have a sense of fear about anything, we kind of work past that and are able to get to a higher plane of consciousness, a higher plane of strength here. There's perseverance in this card. So in June, you might be asked to persevere. You might be asked to really stand strong in who you are, put in the extra effort, put in the extra work, and really prove that you can do this and not, you know, allow your more baser desires, your fears, all of that crap to kind of turn on its head. Strength upright is a very empowered, very courageous energy here. And again, it's very positive. It always feels very lucky to me. A lot of lucky feeling cards here, a lot of nice yellow cards. All right, July, we get the Hierophant. Hierophant is a great card to have, especially for you as an earth sign. You know, it is that kind of Pope energy, but it is traditionally the card of, you know, Taurus, I believe. Although for me as a reader, I always see the Empress as Taurus, and this mostly as that traditional and grounded sense of reality, of knowledge, of what we do know, what we can bring to the table. But it's also this very what is the word? Traditional kind of energy. So for some of you, you could be getting into more traditional relationship situations. Some of you, it could be marriage, or, you know, having this unfolding sense of purpose kind of coming in here that leads you away from, you know, the more baser concerns of life. It kind of puts you in this higher plane because you've learned something. It puts you in a higher place of consciousness. I don't know, this whole year has you moving into this higher place of consciousness and higher place of growth and what you're able to put out to the world. It's just like you have changed. It's like you're leveling up this year, 2020, just in a big sense here. So July, expect some big changes there. If you want to go back to school, learn something new, take on, you know, a mentor or something to learn something specific in your life here. Again, grow spiritually. This is a great time to do so. August, Two of Cups. And, you know, with this kind of combination, some of you could be over the summer, May through August here, be falling in love and getting married, or, you know, solidifying a relationship in a very serious way. Solidifying a situation could even be a career offer because, you know, sometimes that Two of Cups is that equal offer in terms of a career, something that you love, a friendship. I don't know, whatever it is, it's an equal exchange. But for me, this definitely feels like there's a high focus here on love, on relationships. I'm bringing an equal partnership in, and maybe even meeting somebody there in August that is an equal partnership. Finally, right? In September, we have a really, I don't hate this card for you. Sometimes, you know, the Four of Pentacles can be kind of a stagnant energy, but it's like you have built a nice solid foundation here. There has been success. You have solidly moved forward into a much more successful and stable place here. You could even be stabilizing that relationship that you brought over the summer, building a foundation there, or again, moving to a new place here that you finally have the money for. I don't know, the way he's holding on to it, you know, don't hold on to your money too tight, and don't focus so much on that aspect, because if you have to let some money go to do some things here, it will be okay. Okay, the World comes up there in October. Remember when I said that? I brought that out. That was such a nice card. It just felt so nice, like opening. It was like a very big surprising moment where something comes. It's like a big reward for you, a big step in the right direction. You know, opening that new chapter in your life here, you know, moving somewhere because it is the World, traveling somewhere, having an opportunity that takes you to, you know, your goals and achievement of them. It's success, it's happiness. It's, for me, the world is that full bloom in a brand new chapter. You know, you have stepped through to the next stage. Okay, let's talk about November a little bit, because there we got the Five of Pentacles, and I couldn't really tell if it was upright or reversed. So for me, when I get that card and I can't really tell which way it came out, we might be feeling lonely, or, you know, separated from people, money, a situation here. We might have to kind of take a step on, you know, we might have to do a little bit of a lonely walk here, which feels very low. Yeah, maybe a chapter has closed and we have to leave, you know, our family behind. We have to leave a job behind. We have to leave a comfortable situation behind. But it's important to know that you're not alone in this, that you might have somebody with you in this, on this journey here. But you also might need to tap again into that spiritual self, your higher self, and know that you're not alone. Tap into spirit, ask for guidance, ask for help. You are not alone. You are not without. You can always step in and ask for help. You can always go into that church and gain what you need, even if you feel that you're locked out of a situation, even if you feel like the door has been closed and there's no way forward. So November has you moving past moving through maybe a lower time. Let's actually put a little bit of a clarifier on it with the Hobbit deck here. Yeah. There's confliction and fighting. You might have to, somebody might have left you in that kind of situation, might have left you high and dry for a job situation or because of money, something like that. But whatever this battle is, you do come out on top, because you have stabilized yourself and have become, again, the king of coins, that highest level of the earth sign. I've got this. You're not going to budge me. This isn't, you know, just because this is upsetting doesn't mean I'm going to make any huge moves on this. Doesn't mean it's going to rock me and rock my world. I have stability. Because at the very end of the year in December, another ace of wands. You have new beginnings, and maybe people are going to be upset, hurt that you do. People might not believe that you deserve it, or that, you know, you might have to leave another situation to go for this, whether it's love or work. And this new beginning feels really good. And it feels like it's where you've been trying to get to all year. So we're ending the year with some brand new, really beginning energy, a time of beginnings, a time of, you know, happiness, a time of excitement, of creativity, of the winds of change. So it's a really big and lucky year for you. And it feels like things just go in the right direction. Even when they seem to kind of start to fall apart and you have to let some things go, it doesn't feel bad. Feels like you even realize it's necessary, and it's okay. So really nice year ahead for you, Capricorn. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this. Have a wonderful and blessed year ahead. If you want to book a private reading, all that information is always right below this video in the description box. I have a Teespring as well below the videos, so you can check out merch and stuff on my designs. And if you haven't, do make sure to subscribe. Do make sure to share if you enjoyed it, and like the video as well. Have a wonderful and blessed 2020. Namaste.